Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Juhratul Yasmin. So in this video, I would like to tell you about the difference between skimming and scanning in reading. But before it, have you know about skimming and scanning? If you haven't, this video is really good for you because I make this video to make you more understand about skimming and scanning in reading. And also, I hope you can determine what the techniques that you want to use when you're reading something. Okay, let's find out the differences between skimming and scanning. But before we know more about the difference between skimming and scanning, we need to know the definition of skimming and scanning. So, what are skimming and scanning? Skimming and scanning are reading techniques that use rapid eye movement and keywords to move quickly for slightly different purposes. So, skimming and scanning are techniques of reading something that have slightly different purposes. And if we want to use these techniques, we need to use rapid eye movement and keywords to find out that we want to find. Here are the differences between skimming and scanning. The first one is the purpose. So, skimming and scanning have a different purposes that I have talked before. The second is how to use. Between skimming and scanning are different. The third is reading speed. The fourth is comprehension. And the last one is use cases. So, if we want to use skimming and scanning, we need to know about the use cases because the use cases of skimming and scanning are different. This is the first difference between skimming and scanning in reading, which is the purposes. So, the purpose of skimming is to get and identify and overview the main topics of the text without reading every word. Meanwhile, the purpose of scanning is to find specific information or keywords in the text without reading the entire text. So, if we want to get and identify the main topics of the text, we use skimming, but if we want to find specific information or keywords, we use scanning. The next one is how to use. How to use skimming and scanning in reading are obviously different. So if we want to use skimming, we only need to read the first and last sentences of paragraph to grasp the main ideas. So usually, if we want to use skimming techniques, we want to get the main idea. So if we want to get the main idea, we only need to read the first and the last paragraph. Meanwhile, if we want to use scanning, we will quickly moving eyes over the text to look at particular words, phrases, or numbers that are relevant. So, if we want to get the specific information, we use scanning, and we need to moving our eyes to the words that are relevant with something that we want to find out. Okay, the next is reading speed. Yes, the speed when we want to read with skimming techniques and scanning techniques are different. If we want to use skimming, we need to read quickly, but not necessarily at steady pace. Your goal in skimming is to cover a lot of content in a short period of time. That's why we need to read quickly but not really quick. While in scanning is even faster than skimming. You move your eyes quickly over the text, focusing only on certain areas where you hope to find the information you need. So when you need to move your eyes quickly to find out the words that you want to find out. Okay, the next is comprehension. Yes, the comprehension in skimming and scanning is different because in skimming you really need the comprehension, and in the scanning you don't really need this comprehension. And skimming provides a general understanding of the content but may not result in a deep understanding of the material because it is about identifying the most important information. Meanwhile, in scanning doesn't focus on comprehension because the main goal is to quickly find and extract specific information. So you may not pay much attention to the overall context. Here are the last difference of skimming and scanning, which is use cases. Yes, skimming is very useful if we want to previewing long text box, articles, or documents, or when we want to reviewing news articles, magazines, or web content to decide if they are relevant to your needs. And if we want to, scanning is very useful if we want to looking for specific names, dates, statistics, or details in a document, such as searching for references in bibliography or finding a specific section in a manual. Okay, here are the example texts to help you more understand about the difference between skimming and scanning in reading. So, this text, you can determine what the techniques that you want to use, but before it, you need to know the purpose of you read something. So the first question is, what is the main idea of the passage? Usually we use the skimming techniques because the question is the main topics. But if the question is refers to, we need to use scanning because we only need to read the main word or the keywords that are related with the question. Okay guys, maybe that's all. I hope you enjoy this video and you can get new knowledge from my video. Thank you for your great attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.